But we're going to open the phones again for sure at 9:25 today, so you can continue to let us know what or who has disappointed you in the last year.
Can I go for a run, or do I have to talk to the greasy lawyer?
Well, we got to get to Eric Macramala.
Oh, okay.
One of my grievances is that you call him greasy.
Well,
Come on now.
I just get that from you.
Yeah, no, that's mean.
Just repeating what you've always said every time we talk about him on the show.
Frazee isn't greasy.
No, he's slimy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a better word.
That's way different.
It's a better word. Eric Macramala with us, Team 1260 Sports legal analyst. Macramala, how are you?
I'm good. I'm greasy and or slimy, guys. I think we need to pick one.
Yeah, that's a good call.
What do you prefer?
Yeah, we'll leave it up to you.
What do you prefer? Because here's the thing. One of my grievances is Will calls me Chase. Not Chaser, not Kyle, not Mr. Chase. What do you prefer?
Mr. Chase.
I would prefer slimy.
Okay.
Or greasy. Whatever makes you happy. Because my goal in these segments is to make you happy.
This is really
That's why we like you.
really a creepy, greasy, slimy lawyer now.
Sounds good, you greaseball.
And did I sound sincere? Because I was totally insincere.
First of all, you're not driving right now while we talk to you in your cell, are you?
No, I pulled over.
Okay, good.
And, I'm not driving. That's just dangerous. Oprah says no driving. And texting or whatever.
Well, if Harpo says it.
Yeah, if she says it has to be true. Macramala, we are airing grievances today on Festivus. Yes. What do you got?
What do I got? Oh, it rhymes with Sandusky. No. Let me see. What do I got? Oh, I've got a lot of people that disappointed me over the years, beginning with the two of you.
Oh, wow.
That have basically ruined my entire legal practice. I'm no longer credible. People go, are you the guy from the Edmonton show? He said, really, that's really limiting your career. So I begin and I end with you guys. Okay. What grievances do you have?
Well, we've had lots of them today.
We've had a ton. We've had a ton.
I don't like when people here in Edmonton still boo Danny Heatley because they don't really want him here anyway. So why would you boo him?
Danny Heatley, please.
Exactly. That's something that I just don't understand. I also don't like that the Oilers don't have an in-game host anymore. They don't have like a person on the mic during the game, during the intermissions.
I got a grievance that Edmontonians are complaining about Ricky Ray, about an average quarterback getting traded.
Which is bogus.
Well, those are all very legitimate complaints, but I was hoping for something a little bit more explosive from you guys.
Well, where do you want to start? Referees? You want to start in celebrations in the end zone after goals?
More global from you guys.
Global.
I don't really care about the planet, man.
We had a guy call in complaining about cricket games and how long they last.
Well, just don't watch cricket.
Well, no, he says get rid of the sport.
That's a good point, though. We never thought about just don't watch cricket.
It's the thing that's played with an oar.
It's an event. It's not a sport. It's an event.
Yeah. What else is a sport?
4-day one.
Canoeing?
You know what?
Come on.
Stuff that's not sports. How about curling? It's like darts for janitors. It's ridiculous.
Actually, that was one of the other grievances we had.
I love curling.
Anybody who says curling is easy, that was one of the grievances we had as well, Macramala.
It's like what you'd see in a hair salon. How is this a sport? I did curl once. The guy said, sweep. I said, no, my father swept, so I wouldn't have to sweep. You sweep.
The only curl I see with you is that greasy hairdo of yours.
My God.
It's not a greasy hairdo. It's a Jerry curl, and they're so coming back.
And you put $14 worth of gel in it every day.
Burl cream.
My girlfriend just added a drawer at her place. And that drawer is exclusively for hair products.
Well, now we know you're lying because there's no way you have a girlfriend.
That's exactly right.
This is true. What I meant is a straw figurine. It's a very good kisser.
Eric Macramala with us. Eric,
is lonely, guys.
Is there any legal issues you would like to talk about on the show today?
Well, you have the Mike Milbury thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
right.
It broke the day after we chatted.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
what's it? Where does it stand right now? Give us an update.
Well, there haven't been any charges filed, and that was the first misconception that Mike Milbury had actually been criminally charged, and he hasn't. There was just a complaint that was filed that the investigator, the constable, is going to look into it, figure out whether they should press charges or not. The big one is assault against a minor, which is an assault against someone under the age of 14, and that's serious because usually a charge of assault in the state of Massachusetts carries a 2.5-year prison term at max, but if it's a minor, it's 5 years. Now, that being said, I don't think anything this sort of significant is going to happen here. I think that, worst case scenario is a slap on the wrist or a shoe slap on the wrist, whatever. But I'm not seeing anything significant because he has no priors. It really wasn't a violent crime. And frankly, it sounds like that kid that he pushed away from his son was a bit of a jerk.
Well, and here's the other thing. We're going to play in a hockey game today with grade 6 students. Where is the line for Nielsen here when he's on the ice? He slew-footed / speared a guy last time we played hockey, but it was an adult. What does he get away with as far as children go here?
Oh, hang on. So Nielsen knows how to skate?
Slightly.
Barely.
Okay. On his ankles? Can he skate backwards?
Not far off.
On his cankles.
Not far off.
Cankles, yeah. I say go crazy because I could use the billable time.
Okay, well, here's the thing. No show Monday, obviously.
No, I have a serious question here. Settle down. I have a serious question about the Mike Milbury thing.
All right. Whatever.
If someone was to build a case around Mike Milbury, would they or would they not be allowed to use the shoe hitting incident as a prerequisite?
Maybe for comedic relief.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would be used, only because I'm not sure how relevant it is. The game of hockey is completely different, and it was totally different back then. You may use that to suggest that he's predisposed to being violent, but I think ultimately it's going to come down to that video. They're saying that some lady videotaped on her cell phone, and at law we refer to that type of video as probative. It will have probative value. We'll look at it and understand really the case a lot better. And, so I don't think they'll look at that incident, but they'll certainly, I think, look at the video.
How much trouble is Mike Milbury in if this thing goes any further?
You know what? The worst may be already behind them because nowadays, and I say since the beginning of November, there is far less tolerance for any kind of abuse against kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I heard about this, my reaction was goodbye NBC, goodbye CBC, at least for now. Although it's CBC, I think they'll take him back. NBC, I'm not sure. It depends how this resolves. If I'm Milbury's lawyer, I try and characterize Milbury as a peacemaker, trying to break up a fight and trying to control a kid that was out of control and antagonizing his son the entire time. So I think it's more of a PR type of nightmare for him, and that will translate, and already has, into some lost hours on the air.
Yeah, and when he hasn't been legally charged, is that right? I mean, if you look at it, there hasn't been any charges pressed yet. Is it right that reputation's kind of already been dragged through the mud?
It's such a fair question, and unfortunately, it's the reality. It's the complaint, not the charge nowadays, that does it. Look at Bernie Fine. Although the Attorney General came out and said that the case against him was, quote, credible, there was just statute of limitations had run out. But this is the reality of the world that we live in that a simple complaint really seems to carry as much weight as a charge, at least from the public perspective and the public perception. So it's unfair, but that's why you have to be a little more careful.
Yeah, the conviction's almost irrelevant, isn't it?
He's sitting there, and he has to not go on the ice. He has to recognize I'm on TV. I know when you guys tweet, I'm sure it's the same thing. There are some things that you want to say, some things I want to say, some things I want to say about you guys, but I hold all that back because there's too much hate.
Well, nobody.
So you have to be careful.
Well, we aren't the hating type, but I'm sorry you feel that way.
I was just going to point out that nobody follows any of us anyway. So
right. I have like 9 followers.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. And family.
And all my mom.
Yeah, family members don't count, Macramala. Hey, last one. Let's go to this. You're a Habs fan. How are you going to deal with the holidays here?
Well, I'm going to make sure I speak in both English and French.
Okay.
That's the most important
It's a good
thing.
start.
And I hear Subban was benched last night, so that's kind of fascinating. And you know what? The Habs are a good team. They have firepower, should be able to score. It all comes down to the power play. They won a whole bunch of one-goal games in the past, and it's because they had a good guy at the point or have had a number of good players at the point. Caberlet's a little bit better, more of a puck distributor rather than shooter. Doesn't have much of a shot. But I have hope for the Habs. I have hope.
How much
English
hope?
and French.
How much hope do you have for Randy Cunningworth to be there for the end of the season and for next season, or is this just a stopgap for them until they hire Patrick Waugh?
I don't know if it's a stopgap. I know Jeff Molson's press release the other day said that it's important that our permanent coach speak English and French, but part of that press release was cut off, and he did say that I hope Cunningworth is that guy. Cunningworth is a pretty bright guy. He's a pretty talented coach. Players respond well to him, I think, especially when you contrast him with Jacques Martin, who really doesn't feel anything. To me, Cunningworth has a chance to stick around if he does okay. Patrick Waugh, to me, I'm not really sure how effective a coach he would be. He's so emotional. So I don't know. I guess time will tell, but to put Cunningworth in this position, I think, that's the problem that I have.
And Eric, what's on your Christmas wish list this year?
My Christmas wish list is going to be an NHL lockout so we can talk and talk and talk.
So we can have you on every day to get an update. To be quite honest with you, once a week's enough, Macramella. Okay?
I agree, but I still want you guys to fly me down. No, sorry. I fly down,
Yeah.
and then you guys send a bicycle to pick me up.
Yeah,
and I come in
it's-
studio, and we do a segment together. Then I fly
Probably
back home.
we're gonna upgrade it to a moped.
No. It's a rickshaw with Fraser pulling.
I
So,
love it. No,
yeah.
Newman, please.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Oh.
Eric, we wish you the best over the holidays. We're not in next week, so we'll chat with you in the new year.
Okay, guys, take care. Nice
That is
talking to
Eric
you.
Macramella, Team 1260 Sports legal analyst. Love having him on the show. He's been a good addition. Make sure you listen to the Year in Review show. It's kind of a year in review / best of that we're going to have for you on the Wednesday of next week. And you'll hear a little bit from Eric Macramella in there as well. Chaser, we are going to play hockey today. And where's that going down?
Well, it's
The
going
big game
down.
today.
It's going down at Donnan Arena. We play 18 grade 6 kids for an hour at 1 o'clock.
I hate these kids.
We flood.
Yeah.
We play another 18 of them at
What?
like 2:05.
2 games today?